G'day everybody and welcome back to a brand new video on the YouTube channel. And today I'll be going through my round 17 AFL tips and predictions, as well as going through my round 16 tips and seeing which ones I got correct. Now if you guys do go on to enjoy this video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and of course hit the notification bell so you can be notified when new videos coming out. Enough wasting your time, let's get straight into it. In total I got 5 out of 9 tips correct, so that's pretty good for me. Pretty solid round of tipping. But at this point, 5 out of 9 tips is sort of average for me, so I don't expect anything higher going into the tipping. Now let's just quickly go through all the ones that I did get incorrect. The first one I got wrong, I mean, you can't really blame me for this one. I bet hardly anyone got this one correct, which was Sydney v Fremantle at the SCG. I mean, Sydney have been the best side all year. They've only lost one game against Richmond, and now they go on to lose another against Fremantle. And it was at their home turf too, so they had that advantage, and they're officially not undefeated at their home turf now. The other tip I got incorrect was Adelaide v Giants. I really do need to start backing in the Adelaide Crows a lot more. I always see the club and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to tip them. They're a pretty poor side. And then they always win. So they're not a poor side. I just always have it in my mind that they are a poor side. But yeah, so I've tipped the Giants obviously, but the Crows ended up getting it done in the end. The other tip I got incorrect, it was really a 50-50 tip. I'd say 50% people chose Geelong and the other 50% chose Essendon. I was the 50% that chose Essendon. Essendon obviously lost by 45 points, which is quite shocking. I thought it was going to be a quite close contest and come down to the final wire, but unfortunately it didn't. And yeah, the Bombers got smashed in the end. The final tip I got wrong of the week was West Coast v Hawthorn. Look, the Hawks, I knew they were going to be a great side going into this game. I thought it was going to be quite a close contest, but in the end, the Eagles only ended up scoring 4 goals in total, as well as 9 behinds, I believe. So yeah, it was quite a smashing. The Hawks definitely proved themselves and proved they could go on to make finals this year, but we'll have to wait and see for that. Anyway, let's get straight into the tipping for this week. To start off the round, on the Friday, we got Pies v Essendon at the MCG. Last time these two sides faced off against each other was on Anzac Day earlier this year, which obviously ended in a draw, the first Anzac Day draw since 1995. Both these sides are obviously coming off a loss. The Pies are coming off a loss against Gold Coast by 11 points, and the Essendon Bombers are coming off a loss against Geelong by 45 points. Last week the Pies had Degoe, Mychek, and of course Pendlebury back in their sides. Degoe and Mychek managed to kick a goal. Mychek kicked 2 actually. And Pendlebury, he had 18 touches, but you know, he just came back from injury. He's a bit of an older player, so it's a pretty solid game for him. It's a pretty average game for him, to be honest. The Bombers have only won 2 of their last 5 games, one of them against Richmond and the other one against West Coast. The Bombers have only won 2 out of their last 5 games, one of them against Richmond and the other one against West Coast. So I think if the Bombers play just how they did against Geelong last week, I think the Pies will get the job done, but I still think it'll be quite a close contest and I'll go the Pies by 12. Starting off for Saturday, we've got Suns v North at the Marvel Stadium. Gold Coast are still yet to win a game away from home, which means even though they are versing a side like North Melbourne, who are dead last on the ladder, the Kangas are quite a strong side at Marvel Stadium, at least they have been as of lately. Obviously Gold Coast did have Ben King out for a week, but last week after returning back to their side against Collingwood, he managed to score a total of 4 goals. A few weeks back when North Melbourne won their first game against West Coast, they've just been a much better side overall, and all of their losses have been decided by under 20 points. And I think just because of how the Suns have been playing away from home all year this year, I think North Melbourne definitely could pull off a win here, and I'm going to go the North Melbourne Kangaroos by a total margin of 5 points. Next game is Port v Dogs at Adelaide Oval. So far the Dogs have only had 1 interstate win this year. The Dogs also only just got over the line last week against North Melbourne by a total margin of 17 points. The Power also don't really play too well at the Adelaide Oval, which is quite shocking considering it is their home turf, but they have lost 4 games this year at the Adelaide Oval. The Power only just beat the Saints last week by 2 points, so they should be quite nervous going into this game. Although, even though I do think the Power will put up quite a big fight, I just think they'll fall off towards the end of the game, and overall the Dogs are just a better side overall, so we're going to go the Dogs by 25. Next game, we've got Geelong v Hawthorn at GMHBA. And just when we thought the Hawthorn Hawks were improving, they go ahead and decide to smash the West Coast Eagles at Optus Stadium. And in the end, West Coast only managed to score 4 goals against the Hawks, and the Hawks got the job done by 61 points. The Cats beat the Bombers last week, a side that is in the top 4 currently, by a margin of 45 points. The Hawks have won all of their last 5 games, and the Cats, on the other hand, have only won 2 of their last 5 games. And the Cats are only really an average side at GMHBA, considering they've won 3 out of 5 of their games at GMHBA. So yeah, I think the Hawks will get the job done. I'll go the Hawks by 8. Next game, we've got Giants v Blues at the Sydney Showgrounds. Both these sides going quite well already this season, which makes me feel that this game could be quite a thriller. Obviously, it is the Giants' home game, and they've actually only lost 2 games at the Showgrounds this year. And Tom De Koning should be back in the Blues side this week after he was out last week due to soreness. But the Giants have actually started to drop down the ladder as of lately. They were a lot higher on the ladder previously in the season, but now they currently sit at 10th on the ladder, meaning that since the Blues are quite high on the ladder, they're pretty much undefeated. They've only lost a handful of games, and quite frankly, I think the Blues should get the job done, and I'm going the Blues by 12 points. Next one, we've got Freo v Tigers at Optus Stadium. Now, I don't really want to get too stuck on this tip, considering the Tigers are a side that are currently fighting for the wooden spoon, and have only won 2 games this year. And Freo, on the other hand, are just coming off a win against the Sydney Swans, and now they currently sit at 3rd on the ladder. And considering the Swans are currently the best side in the league, that is quite good for the Freo Dockers to get the job done against them, and their confidence will be quite high going into this game. So I reckon the Dockers win by an absolute smashing, and I'll go Freo by 51 points. Starting off for Sunday, we've got Melbourne v Eagles at the MCG. Even though the D's have been playing quite poorly as of lately, I'd be quite surprised if they do happen to lose to the Eagles this week. The Eagles only managed to score 4 goals last week, and that's even when they had the home ground advantage. And I do feel as if this is a game that if Melbourne lose, their season is officially over, and I just don't see them letting that happen. So I think it's quite obvious who I'm tipping. I'm going to go the D's by a total margin of, let's go 35. Next game is Saints v Swans at Marvel Stadium. Even though this game is being played at Marvel and the Saints do have the home ground advantage for this game, I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference considering the Swans are only just coming off their 2nd loss of the season. So I think the Swans get the job done, and let's go 52 points. And the final game of the round, we've got Lions v Crows at the Gabba. I apologise to any of the Crows supporters watching, but I will say the Crows are not playing as well as some people may have thought they would this year. And even though the Lions did start the season quite poorly, we are starting to see some similarities to their side last year. And even though the Lions did start off the season quite poorly, over the last few weeks we've started to see some similarities to their side last year. At the moment, the Lions are very much still a chance at finals this year, and I think they're going to add this one to the wins list, and I'll go the Lions by 30 points. Alrighty, and that just about wraps up this week of tipping. Now, if you guys did enjoy this video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and of course, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when a new video is coming out. And I will just say this right now, I am on the school holidays, so you guys will see a lot more uploads from me over the next 2 weeks, as well as a lot more streams than usual. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.